Quick announcement. I recently came across another creator who makes beautiful 3D printed deck boxes. I am not sponsored, I'm not getting a kickback or anything. I got his permission to post a link to his Etsy store down below. Feel free to go check him out. After the video, of course. Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today we continue our series looking at the new pre-constructed decks from Duskmourn. On today's video, we'll be upgrading the Esper deck, Miracle Worker. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Now, for those of you who have never watched one of my Commander Precon videos, allow me to explain. Most Commander pre-constructed decks have a theme and a sub-theme. The sub-theme is usually tied to a secondary legendary creature printed in the deck, while the main theme is tied to the face commander. What I like to do is take the deck, pull out the sub-theme, and use those cards to build a new commander deck, all for about $200. That's $50 for the Precon, and $150 for upgrades. Let's take a look at the two new legendary creatures in Miracle Worker, and then figure out what the deck is trying to do. But before we get to our commanders, a quick word from our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. Ultimate Guard is famous for their boulder, and they now have the new Boulder Tray. Designed to carry both your commander deck and enough dice to satisfy anyone but a dice goblin, you can get yours in a variety of colors, like the Onyx one seen here. Find out if your local game store carries the Ultimate Guard Boulder Tray, or click on the Amazon link down below. Aminatu Veil Piercer is a 4-mana 2/4 legendary human wizard. At the beginning of our upkeep, we surveil 2. Each enchantment card in our hand has Miracle. The Miracle cost is equal to its mana cost reduced by 4. The Master of Keys is a 3-mana 3/3 legendary enchantment horror creature with flying. When it enters, we put X +1/+1 counters on it, and mill twice X cards. Each enchantment card we put in our graveyard has Escape. The Escape cost is equal to the mana cost, plus we exile 3 other cards from our graveyard. Okay, so Aminatu likes drawing enchantments, and the Master of Keys allow us to play enchantments from our graveyard. I didn't really want to build 2 Esper enchantment decks, so I took a look at the rest of the deck, mostly focusing on new cards, and one caught my eye. Ancient Cellarspawn is a 3-mana 3/3 enchantment creature horror who makes demons, horrors, and nightmares cost 1 less for us to cast. Additionally, whenever we cast a spell, if the amount of mana spent to cast it was less than its mana value, target opponent loses life equal to the difference. Also included in the deck was Arvinox, the Mind Flail. So we'll be cutting a few cards from the deck to build an Arvinox horror deck. But what should we add? Well, let's check and see what we're missing first. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Now, let's compare our checklist to the Miracle Worker deck and see what it needs. 50 mana sources, split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp. Right on target. 21 pieces of card advantage. High, but expected for a deck that wants to manipulate the top of our library. 12 pieces of interaction. 3 board wipes. 1 piece of graveyard hate in Bajuka Bog. No sudden I win cards. Okay, so it looks like we'll want a win con or 2. We'll also be cutting one of our mana sources, Ancient Cellarspawn, so we should replace that with our missing Signet, Dimir Signet. It's nice to have a complete set. Next up, Read the Bones is getting cut. Not because it's a bad card, but because we have enough card advantage and want a win con. We'll replace it with Enchanted Evening, which, when combined with Ondu Spirit Dancer, creates an infinite number of copies of Ondu Spirit Dancer. We have Enchanted Evening on board, and then cast Ondu Spirit Dancer, which, since it's an enchantment, creates a copy of itself. The copy then creates a copy, which creates a copy ad infinitum. Even though Ondu Spirit Dancer says we can only do it once each turn, that's once per copy, so each copy creates a copy of itself. And since it's a May ability, this doesn't cause the game to end in a draw. For you new Magic players, if you have an infinite uninterruptible combo, The game ends in a draw unless someone can stop it. Now, the final two cuts are going to be Arvinox the Mind Flail and Nightmare Shepherd. Replacing them will be Solemnity and Decree of Silence. Yes, this combo works the way you think it does. All of our opponent's spells are countered. Unless they have an uncounterable spell, the game is now basically over. Okay, so that's only 4 cards and only about $15 worth of upgrades. And we want to build a horror deck led by Arvinox the Mind Flail. Let's take a look at him real quick and then jump right into our deck list. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. I'm going to be streaming on Musings by Danon as well as Twitch. It'll mostly be Final Fantasy XIV, but you're more than welcome to pop in and talk about Commander. Honestly, about half my streams are talking about manga, anime, or Commander. Arvinox the Mind Flail is a 7-mana 9/9 legendary enchantment horror creature who isn't a creature unless we control 3 or more permanents that we don't own. At the beginning of our end step, we exile the bottom card of each opponent's library face down. For as long as they're exiled, we may look at them, and we may cast permanent spells from among them as though they were mana of any color. So Arvinox wants us to steal stuff. We should also probably go for a lot of mana ramp in this deck, both because our commander is 7 mana, and because we'll want to cast our opponent's spells. So with that in mind, let's take a look at our deck list. For lands, we've got Hostile Hostel, Temple of the False God, Bojuka Bog, Myriad Landscape, and 30 Swamps. Nice and simple. For mana ramp, we've got Ancient Cellarspawn, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Mind Stone, Charcoal Diamond, Felwar Stone, Bontu's Monument, Herald's Horn, Kirik, Son of Yawgmoth, Worn Power Stone, Hedron Archive, Thrawn Dynamo, Gilded Lotus, Throne of Eldraine, Solemn Simulacrum, Wayfarer's Bauble, Burnished Heart, Caged Sun, and Gauntlet of Power. We've got a fairly high curve in this deck, so we want the extra ramp. For card advantage, we're running Read the Bones, Phyrexian Arena, Siphon Mind, Doomweaver, Starving Revenant, Hell's Caretaker, Golem Scheming Guide, Stinging Cave Crawler, Sign in Blood, Dread Return, and Ancient Craving. Lots of additional card draw with a bit of graveyard recursion. Our interaction consists of Ravenous Chupacabra, Feed the Swarm, Withering Torment, Terror, Finale of Eternity, Infernal Grasp, The Eldest Reborn, Defile, Hero's Downfall, and Breathe Your Last. I know that's a lot of creature removal, but we're in black. Not a lot of other options here. For board wipes, we're running Toxic Deluge, Black Sun Zenith, Vona's Hunger, and Crippling Fear. Lots of ways to reset the game. The core of our deck consists of Nightmare Shepherd, Uchalon, Elderbrain, Sewer Nemesis, Phyrexian Obliterator, Brainstealer Dragon, Night Howler, Defiler of Flesh, Hunted Horror, Guilt Feeder, Mind Slicer, Intellect Devourer, Plague Spitter, Yarok's Fenlurker, Faded Return, Profane Transfusion, and Visions of Dread. To help protect our commander and our other big creatures, we're running Not Dead After All, Ashnod's Intervention, Fake Your Own Death, and Feigned Death. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 53 mana sources split between 34 lands and 19 pieces of ramp. Right where we want it. 11 pieces of card advantage, plus our commander basically drawing us 3 cards every turn. 10 pieces of interaction. 4 board wipes. 1 piece of graveyard hate in Bojuka Bog. No sudden I win cards, but lots of fun shenanigans. This is not a high-powered deck, unless our opponents are playing high-powered cards, that is. The fun part about a theft deck is that it is self-regulating. If our opponents are playing strong cards, that means we get to play strong cards. If they have a casual deck, we have a casual deck. It's not my power level, it's our power level. Are you picking up Miracle Worker? What are your plans for the deck? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. You can have a video made or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Borgie, Nazwin, Midge, Alex, Conga, Aaron, Chris, Robert, Austin, William, Pye, Turner, Triz, Kazaris, Slack, Booksu, Patrick, Vox, Liam, Travis, Nappy, Sean, and Michael. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.